Hey guys, back to money. Welcome back to Money Making Mondays. We're taking properties that I find in Puerto Vallarta that I feel are good investments, and I show you all the numbers and give the whole financial breakdown of what it'd look like for a financial investment. All right, so today we are in Punta De Mita at Casa Ita 35. It's listed at 895,000 USD. Let's go ahead and give you a quick show of where this is. So here's the whole bay. Zooming in, there's Puerto Vallarta. You're about a 45-minute drive from the airport, an hour from downtown Puerto Vallarta. Over here where the star is in Punta Mita. And just for reference, Punta Mita over here, this whole thing within these golf course confines, there's a big wall around it. That is like the most prestigious part of Puerto Vallarta, the whole Bahia de Banderas area. The homes there are all exclusive and beautiful. And even up in this community here and this community here, they're beautiful. However, this is a little surf town called Punta De Mita. It hasn't seen as much development as some of the other places. They have a few different reasons for that, but it's very up and coming and a very popular surfing destination. I know a few people that have actually gone there specifically to surf. So the property is located right here, right across the street from a field and a park, and right across the highway from a hospital, and about 3 blocks down to the beach. And over here is called Stinky's Beach, and that is a popular surf spot. We walked down there after we did the showing the other day. It was awesome. All right, so this place is a 14-room boutique hotel that has just been made. Let's go through the photos here quickly. That's the outside of the building, showing proximity to the beach. There's actually a industrial kitchen and cafe in front of the building. There's the kitchen. So that could be alternative income where you're not only feeding the guests that stay in this 14-room boutique hotel, but you're also feeding the community around you. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could be just super simple, but that's an additional thing. Okay, so let's see. Oh, on the roof, that's actually really important. There's 24 solar panels. Now, they have everything except for the lights for the building on that grid, and it brings the cost down to like next to nothing. So the electrical bill is very, very low for this place. It's less than like an average house, and it's a 14-room hotel. Another opportunity I see to make money here is, this provides a lot of shade. It'd be quite easy. The stairs come up and out right here. It'd be easy to make a cool little balcony up here with some lights and some seating because it has a view of the ocean, and I think it'd be an added value. So all these rooms they're either one bedroom or one bed with bathroom, or they have 2 beds in them like this one. They all have bathrooms, and a handful of them, 3 of them, have kitchenettes, and then there's actually one unit that has 2 individual bedrooms. There's one with a kitchenette. So they just finished building this place in the new year, the beginning of the new year, and they decided while they were getting it ready to sell that they would put it up on Airbnb. They are not selling it as a business. They are selling it as a building. They're just doing Airbnb just to recuperate some costs in the meantime. Now, with that being said, they also have made their rates very low just to get a few people in the door, just to get making some money. So their rates right now that they're running are rather low. Like they could be running 3x their prices right now. So let's take a look at some numbers here. So here's the number figures that I used. I was using a little bit higher. I gave it about a 20% haircut off the top for what I was using for each individual room. So you have the 1 bedroom. So there's 5 units with 1 bedrooms. There is 2 units with 2 beds in it. There's 1 2-bedroom unit. There's a 1 bed with kitchenette, and there's a 2 bed with a kitchenette, and there's 3 of them. 2 of the rooms are being used as storage and for housing of the staff. There are 2 live-in staff that are working right now. I don't know what their wages are, but what I did for expenses is I gave it 2 live-in employees at 40,000 pesos per month. Now, 20,000 pesos is a pretty decent wage for people working in the local in a local storefront or something like that. I've heard of a lot of people saying that 16,000 pesos a month is kind of like a starting point for a wage. So I went a little bit higher. Electricity, again, this is the actual number. I saw some of the bills. Even with running 14 individual mini split air conditioning units, they are all running off the solar panels. Wi-Fi is already set up. They've got cameras throughout as well. The gas bill, they've got just the big tank on the roof supplying all the hot water heaters. So I guesstimated high on the gas. I guesstimated high on the water, as always, keeping very conservative numbers. Repairs and consumables, I put in a budget for that at 5,000 pesos a month, which is like, what is 5,000 pesos a month? That's like $350 USD or Canadian, sorry. Insurance also on the high side, and property tax. It's just a rough guesstimate. I didn't get to pull the actual numbers for that. So purchase price in USD $895, which works out to 1.21 Canadian. Closing costs, again, I go at the high end using a 6% of your total purchasing cost as closing expenses and property tax and all that fun stuff looped into the notary. We usually expect between 3 and 4%. So that's an inflated number, but for the safety of everything. Furniture, I put in a $10,000 USD budget, which is 13.6 Canadian, just to add any elements that you want, any extra consumables, any extra utensils, any conveniences, or maybe some furniture upstairs. There's also a room right now where the room that you actually access the stairs to get up to the rooftop. That's where the staff are currently living. So with that being said, I think that room could be utilized as a common workspace, and it could be reallocated as a room where it was like kind of like a lounge and a workspace, and then also then the tenants have access to the roof, providing more value, which gives you more money on a nightly rate. Okay, so ignore all the borrowed amount stuff, but your total upfront cost is pretty much $1.3 million on the nose. And for these calculations, again, I said I went with a hair cut off the top. These are very low numbers. I could go quite a bit higher, especially once you're adding more value to the building, running it as your business as you see fit. So I ran it with all this income tallied up and running it at a 55% occupancy rate, which maybe for such a high unit building is more reasonable. Also gave a property management fee of 25%. Usually it's going to be between 20 and 25, depending on how much is going into it. And we're coming out with $135,000 net after all your expenses per year as a return. That's if you're buying it cash, you're not getting any financing, and that's a 10% cash on cash return. Now, I just want to let you guys know that before I put these more up to more realistic numbers, especially for like a high season. And also keep in mind, you're not going to see all these returns within the first little bit. It's going to take a while to get your business some momentum and get some traction, and maybe set up another website to redirect traffic off of Airbnb. But that's more of a long game plan, and that's more of a strategy. We can talk about it another time. So before I did this, I was getting about $9,200 per week total revenue, because like I said, I took about 20% off the top of all these, which made a drastic difference in our numbers. It was giving me a 15%, and now it's giving me a 10%. And also, if we change this 55% occupancy rate, if I go ahead here and change that to 75% occupancy rate, that bumps it up to 15% right there. So just going from a 55 to a 75% occupancy rate went up to 15. And when I did that before I gave these numbers a haircut, I was actually getting 20% return. So I was getting between 15 and 20. But I decided, you know what, just for the safety of running conservative numbers and not wanting to overpromise anything and give a realistic view of what everything looks like, that's leaving a lot of buffer room. That's leaving a lot of wiggle room. It's being on the safe side of everything. So we're looking at between a 10 and 15% cash on cash return. And as you see here, I did some digging on Airbnb, and you can see how there's other places that these are all individual rooms for rent, depending on their circumstances. Some of them don't even have bathrooms, or they have shared bathrooms. So they're all a little bit different circumstances. It's a little bit of a wilder game looking at Airbnbs when you're dealing with individual rooms, not entire buildings or entire units themselves. So here's the 2 bedroom listed right now, and they were even saying like they were charging like uh they were doing the calculation in pesos. They're doing it like 500 pesos per night in one of the single bedrooms, and they said they could easily be getting 1,600 pesos. So that's, like I said, 3x what they're doing. And this is also in the summer rate. They had a total booking in the month of May, which is not typically a super busy month, but it's been getting busier as the years go on in the summer months. And they were getting they got 175 nights total booked in the month of May, and that was only in their 3rd month of operation. Just as throwing these up on Airbnb just to get some people into it, just to make some money, to recuperate some costs while they were going through the process of selling. So let's see what else we pulled up here. More rooms. This is looking at more of a high season. Now, all these rooms that are listed by the same people here, that's for this. Because they know they're selling, they haven't altered their prices to match high season rates. This is just a comparable one that I pulled up. That again is a shared bathroom, and that's over $100 a night for a single bed. And as you see in my calculations for the single bed, I was doing it 65 a night, and that's with its own bathroom. So you see how conservative I'm being with these numbers. AirDNA wasn't the most helpful on this one, just because it's harder again with single rooms. Like this is from a lot of the comparables are within the building, so the comparables are seeming lower because they just put it up. So anyways, this is what I've got going on. Again, using super conservative numbers, everything high on the fee end of things and on the cost end of things, and everything super low on the income side of things, and still coming out with anywhere between a 10, 15, even up to a 20. Maybe 20 is more of a number you'd get after like a year or 2 of operation, and then you're getting into like the $250,000 net profit income of staying money. But right now it's looking more like a 165, 189, but still adding an extra $160,000 of net income doesn't seem so bad. So yeah, this is Casa Ita. This is between a 10 and a 15 cash on cash return. And that's wrap for today. Stay tuned for more episodes. They come out every second Monday of Money Making Mondays. And we will see you on the next one.